Hi there YouTube, this is the Magnus bringing you another Total War Warhammer online ladder battle. If you watched my last one, I played as the Vampire Counts and my opponent chose the Warriors of Chaos. So this time my opponent chose Vampire Counts, so I decided why don't I see if I can win playing as the opposite side, so I took the Warriors of Chaos. I brought 5 Chaos Warriors with great weapons, 2 with halberds, 2 giants, 1 Hell Cannon, and Kholek the Sun Eater, who's a personal favorite of mine. I feel he's a little underpowered, but he's still so darn cool. If you follow the lore at all or read into it, he's really a unique and very special and very terrible thing. My opponent brings 3 skeletal spearmen and 2 more, so 5 total. He brings 1, 2, 3 Graveguard and a 4th Graveguard with a great weapon. He's got 2 Crypt Horrors, which he ranked up. He has the Black Knights, 1 on each flank. On this side, he has a White King with him as well to run with his cavalry. Pretty standard thing to do. And he has a Vampire Lord on foot. So right away, I recognize the fact that in this battle, I am not going to want to push, and why should I? I have artillery, he doesn't. So what I'm going to do instead is sit back with my artillery and wait for him to come into range. And you'll notice what I did with my infantry here was I put all of the great weapons up front because I want them to be the ones to fight the infantry, and I kept my halberds in the back in case of him bringing Black Knights or Blood Knights, because, and I think I said Blood Knights, but he actually brings Black Knights, which are better because they're anti-infantry, not anti-large. But I keep these guys back here because I want to be able to protect against them coming around, because I do not have Cav. And I also have Kholek back here because I want to be able to choose where I engage him, which may be to help against the Cav if they get too close, or to punch into his infantry. So I feel like I left myself a lot of options with this layout. I put the giants out a little bit. You'll see I'm going to move them in even more. I don't want to leave them out on an island against Cav or anything like that. And not that they would do too horrible against Black Knights. Blood Knights would really be a problem. And generally, I've found the vampires have trouble dealing with giants. So I always like to bring them to this engagement. And they're just cool units. I wish Chaos in general, and like the giants and some of the other units they have that are just so cool, I wish there were more opponents and armies I felt safe bringing them against, because they are a lot of fun to play and see do their thing. So you can see I'm dialed in on his Crypt Horrors right now because they're a large threat, but as his cavalry works its way out of this defilade, I realize I've got a good opportunity to take a shot at these guys. They're laid out the right way, and boom, going to do a lot of damage to them. So the Hell Cannon I like because it's heat-seeking and it's really good at hitting faster units, which most artillery can struggle against. The thing I don't like about it is you don't get a lot of splash out of it. It's a really focused fire. Like you see, it's only going to hit a few models, but it is quite good. It's limited as to when and how you can use it, but it's definitely worth using. And again, just another fun one to use. So he starts to push in with his cav on both sides. He's going to attack my flanks. I sense it, so I countercharge and then start sending out the Chaos Warriors with halberds to help take care of these guys. But actually, Chaos Warriors with great weapons are quite good against cavalry. And on this side, they were already pretty weakened by my Hell Cannon. So he leaves his Crypt Horrors further back because he realizes he doesn't want to get beat up by the Hell Cannon. So I start targeting some Graveguard. Now that's a really good hit. That hits a lot of models because they're kind of like a tighter formation. Anytime you have a tighter formation like that, the Hell Cannon's going to do better. Whereas units that have a looser formation, it's not going to do so great at. So over here, he's bringing them in for another charge, but I've got 2 units to fight with it, so I don't feel too bad. But what I am worried about is, him having a great opportunity to flank. But at the same time, I don't want to push out or even forward, because that's going to leave him clear routes to get into the back of my line, and I don't want that. Here he charges in with his Vampire Lord. I think the Giant's a great answer to that, so he's going to have to deal with that. Here, some Spearmen are coming in, which is a little uncomfortable, but quite frankly, they're not that good, especially against infantry, so I'm not that worried. Still firing at his grave guard. Kholek's going to go in here and start working on these crypt horrors. And Kholek against just about anything in melee is devastating. I just keep pushing him through. So he gets in here and puts a hurting on the grave guard. My cannon is firing at these crypt horrors and doing some damage to them. I pull my giant over, so a giant plus Kholek is a pretty devastating ordeal. Over here on the left flank, he's down to just his spearmen. His cavalry did not fare well. These spearmen are already blinking, so I keep using Kholek. I push him over here, I push him back, because he has a great charge bonus, and he's absolutely devastating coming into the flanks or the rear of an opponent. Now over here on the right, he's kind of got things overloaded, but Chaos Warriors are very sturdy, very punchy, so I don't feel threatened over there. He's not reached my cannon, and he's unlikely to now because he's got everything blobbed up. I'm firing into here because all I have is a giant, and as long as I don't hit him directly, he's not really going to care about it, which is awesome. That's one of the reasons I love a giant. And giants are, as you probably know, are very vulnerable to missiles, and that's why I love to bring, and so is Kholek, and that's why I love to bring them against the vampires, because no missiles. And they used to have really powerful spells that would do a number on these guys, but not anymore, so they just have to bear the brunt of the pain train going through. Kholek's just teeing off. He can break through just about any unit. His mass is incredible. My only fleeing unit, these Chaos Warriors with great weapons, are going to come back into the mix. And as you can see, the bar is already very strong in my favor, and his men are just melting. Even his Vampire Lord decides he doesn't want any more of this. So we have a victory here for Chaos, a decisive victory, which I think is pretty hard to pull off against the vampires as Chaos, but obviously not impossible because we just did it. So let's take a look at the recap. My opponent brought a much larger army. I focused on quality, and that's a lot of the reason why I didn't spread my infantry line out the whole way, and I kept those halberds back. It wasn't just for dealing with Cav. I wanted to force him to kind of blob up 2 or 3 units on my infantry, but hit them from the front, because the surround penalty would really hurt. Whereas if they have to come at the front, they're going to be the ones getting hurt. And you can see I only lost 133 out of 537 guys. The great weapons did very well. The gentlemen out on the flanks had a harder time, but that's to be expected. The halberdiers cleaned up quite well. The giants didn't have a lot of kills, sorry, but one of them was working as Chaos Lord, and so that's kind of understandable. The real hero of the show is the Hell Cannon, and Kholek, 55 kills, but he caused so much fear and terror in the opponent that I think he's very much worth it. And he could have fought for a lot longer with that much health. As far as my opponent's army, the skeletal spearmen did any good. The grave guard were, well, not very effective either. Grave guard with great weapons was not. His cavalry of black knights and black knights with lances and barding, ineffective. And his ranked up crypt horrors too. So really, we put it on him all around. It was a very, very favorable matchup for us, which it generally is not, but I think I have a really good army here for dealing with the vampires. I don't think what he brought was bad. I understand all the skeleton spearmen because he knows he's going to be facing giants very likely. I don't think they're the answer. I think you have to bring blood knights. And even then it's hard because a lot of times people will play giants the way I play them, which is embed them with your infantry. And when you do that, it's so hard to get a clean charge on them or get enough units attacking the giant. So, that's the tip as playing as a Chaos player. Hide your giants in your damn infantry, and they're going to have a hell of a time getting to them. So, anyways, a good game to my opponent. It was a very fun battle for me. I really enjoy playing Chaos. If you liked the video, you learned something, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I know I owe you guys a 100 subscriber video. I've been waiting to see if they're going to announce the next DLC, because I'd love for that to be the giveaway. I could do like a Steam card or something like that, but I feel like that's generic, and it would be really cool to hook one of you guys up with the new DLC. So anyways, we'll see what happens with that. I'm not going to wait forever, don't worry. Thanks, as always. I appreciate all the support I'm getting. The channel's growing. I'm getting great comments. And you guys have been so awesome at engaging as far as talking about the builds and things like that. And I'm sure you've noticed I've made changes based on what you guys have told me. And I've gotten a lot better. So I hope you're getting a lot better too. Until the next time, this is the Magnus. Thanks, and take care.